Okay, welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. This is the second and last Midnight Madness of the week. The next one will be Monday morning at 12 a.m. At 12 midnight, I should say. That's just 12 a.m. Yeah. And of course, if you are in the background watching this channel, do me one big favor. You know, give this video one of these here for me, okay? All right. And if you're watching this as a possible promotion, by all means, click that like button for me, and also click that subscribe button. Okay, so tonight we're going to take a look at the aviation. I don't know if it's CO2 emissions or what it is, but anyway, it's got 3 columns of data plus the country and the year. So first of all, as you can see, this is Zealous. So next, let's just open up. Oh, look at that. So if you do a Control P new, it splits it horizontally. Okay, good. Control N new. Control P new. Control. That's interesting. Not quite sure why that's happening. Let's just start over again. There we go. So it's Control P. I don't know why it wasn't doing that, but it was doing horizontal instead of vertical. So anyway, what I found out now, in order to switch between the panes, you would do a Control P. Now, at this point, the focus isn't actually there. That's what the red border tells us. The focus isn't actually there. So we come up and do escape. Okay, now we got it. As promised, we're going to do Control. We're going to do this the second section, statistical aggregates down there, and maybe finish up with a grouping set of some type. Okay. So anyway, let's come back over here, and we're going to be using DuckDB again. And I've actually already created an empty database for aviation data. And as you can see, there's nothing up my sleeve. Okay, so let's do a select star from quote limit 1, and we have some data in between. So let's do a quick. Okay, let's go ahead and create our table now. Okay, now of course this. If you notice at the top, what we're doing here is we're actually doing this in strictly memory mode. So so the table is basically a memory table. No, that's not true, is it? Good. And here is all of our content here. There. All right. So So there's our table there again. Okay, so we got. Let's look at. What the heck? Let's look at. Let's look at carbon per unit of energy. Huh. Okay. Let's look at men. Well, that's not very exciting. There isn't that much difference in that, the min and the max, is there? So it also means there's probably not a lot of outliers. Okay, what else can we look at here? We're looking for something with a nice range of good. So carbon intensity looks like a good one to start with. Okay. Let's start with some more aggregate functions. Let's introduce one of our modes again. We're going to do the line mode, which will be each column we put on a separate line. Okay. Select. Start with the so you see what it did? It released the two. It puts each column on its own line, which is kind of spiffy, I think. Let's do one more thing here. Let's come back over here. Now we got all the things on different lines here. So is there a pattern? Well, not really. 2021 wasn't a bad year. Okay, wasn't a bad year. We could do something like one also, just to get the picture here. Okay. Select. Now let's do some more type of Okay. And there's our two kutoses. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't quite understand. I'm not a big kurtosa fan. Okay, so let's just be honest about this. But that's also let's add 32 rows. So what is mode? Okay, I believe mode is the value that appears the most. That's 70.1. No, it must. You have to admit this. This this line function is pretty doggone spiffy, I think. You know. So okay, so you don't actually have to have. Okay, so this is for the whole data set, not the year. Okay. The geo mean is kind of interesting. It finds the apparently what it does. I'm going to call it a weighted statistic because it tends to place more emphasis on the main data and places less emphasis on the. It does find the center of the data, okay, but it does. Take a quick screenshot there. Okay. Okay. Now, the F average and F sum are kind of interesting. I think actually what it does, it may only average the non-zero, any values greater than 0, okay, I think. So there could, for instance, be a difference between an average. There shouldn't be a difference in the sums, though, right? There could be a difference, if this is right, between the average and the F average, because the average is going to average all the values, including 0 values, okay? Okay, so now let's come over here. So what do we do here? Do we come over here and put one of those? How do we continue on the next line? Okay, So now let's come in here and let's add in our quantiles, okay? So we're going to say did I just lose my keyboard maybe? Let's see here. This was kind of interesting, isn't it? This is sort of curious. Well, what are my keyboard stop working for? Well, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. I guess I'm going to bring this session to a close. Well, I hope you got a little hint there of what to do with DuckDB and the well, let's try this. Except for the fact it isn't working all with it. For whatever reason, the keyboard isn't working at all. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to go and bring this session to an early close. Because it's either that or I'm probably going to reboot the